We all agree that the Nether is a pretty dangerous place, but did you know that the idea of the Nether was completely different from that we have today? The current Nether really isn't anything like what Notch actually had planned for this dimension. Today, you will learn about the history of the Nether and how its creative direction was changed due to how disturbing it was at the beginning. In the year 2010, when Notch was just starting to program Minecraft, Notch added by a surprise a new map called Hell. This world had extensive lava lakes, the lightning was much darker, and all kinds of hostile mobs could also appear. The crops grew slower than normal, making everything more difficult. There were no grass blocks, everything was earth, the sky was reddish in color, and it also seemed that it was night all the time. You also could find many mushrooms due to the darkness that this world had, and the video you're watching, I had to turn up the brightness a lot. Do you want to see what it was really like to live in this dimension? Like this. You didn't see anything. Shortly after, Notch removed the Hell biome. 8 months later, on September 18th, 2010, Notch announces the return of the Hell biome, and a month later, reveals the new design of this dimension, which closely resembles what we have today, and comments that the main function of this biome will be to transport faster, where his inspiration will be the novel The Wheel of the Time. According to Notch's explanation, this transport system would allow players to travel long distances in much less time, but at the cost of a very dangerous place. In fact, today it also works like this. Thanks to the Nether portals, we can travel much faster and make portal connections, but at the cost of a very dangerous world, full of fire, lava, of hostile creatures, and souls in pain that can launch igneous charges at you. A block of the normal world is equivalent to 8 blocks of the Nether, and hence the idea of the corridors in the Nether, in the survival world, to be able to travel faster in the normal world. It seems like a fair exchange, being able to travel faster but in a more dangerous dimension. But this is where things get very cloudy. Do you remember what inspired Notch to create this type of mechanism in the Nether? Exactly, the novel The Wheel of the Time. But what happens if we look for information about this novel? You can find disturbing images, where mirrors portals are used to cross dimensions. Portals quite similar to those of the Nether, where dark magic is clearly used. If that seems a bit strange to you, okay, we're just getting started. If we continue investigate dark magic, where Notch was inspired by Minecraft portals, we find many strange things in obsidian. Have you ever wondered why the Nether portals are made specifically with obsidian? Why not use another type of block? It turns out that obsidian has a much darker context than you think. In real life, some ancient civilizations use obsidian mirrors to try to communicate with the afterlife. They were considered portals, and some ancient alchemists called it the magic mirror. Everything made of obsidian, and hence the explanation of why we use obsidian to create portals in Minecraft. And the last proof that obsidian really wasn't something magical like enchantments but were really related to dark cults is that enchantments came out in 2011, literally a year after Notch added obsidian portals. With this, we confirm that Notch was inspired by ancient dark cults to add the obsidian. With all this information, you can see how Notch had a darker and scarier idea for the Nether, a dark hell inspired dimension with obsidian portals from dark cults. The first 2 blocks that Notch made for the Nether was the netherrack and also the soul sand block. Curiously, this block has souls trapped inside, but there is something more interesting about the netherrack. For this, we will travel back a few versions. I present to you the old block of the netherrack. Who of you are veterans and knew these textures? If you lived through the Minecraft era, I'm super sure that this block seemed very strange to you. I don't know if it happened to you, but this block doesn't look like a stone. For example, we compared the normal stone of the main world and it's completely different. We are going to go directly to the Nether so that we can see it live. The ancient Nether, when there was no other type of biome other than pure netherrack. Well, as you are surely thinking, the netherrack is extremely disturbing. On the official Minecraft page, we can find this paragraph how the netherrack used to be called bloodstone. All those Minecraft veterans who knew this nether with these old textures were really stepping on blocks of blood and possibly guts. And that's why the old netherrack has such a strange texture, so random, with very weird pixels. The community has tried to make this block realistic, and it will be something like this, or something like this. Well, we don't really know what the netherrack is exactly, but its old name confirms that it definitely has blood inside it. Although, chill out, today the netherrack no longer has anything related to blood. When Jeff started working on Minecraft, he wanted to give these things a bit of a twist and not be as disturbing and scary as Notch wanted. So Jeff, Instead of making the Nether terrifying, now he made it a little more majestic, magical, with things related to alchemy. And that's why the netherrack now looks more like an ordinary stone block. Now it does look like a stone and not viscera. And now we will talk about the ancient zombie pigments. Nowadays, they are piglins and they are quite beautiful. You can see that there is a bit of bone there, and it has a green liquid that is like putrefaction. It reminds me of pus. Well, again, Notch had created a zombie pigman much more terrifying. I present to you the first texture of the zombie pigman. This texture was too grotesque. It was all covered in blood, and you can see the difference between the old texture and the new one, which doesn't have a drop of blood, just a green substance. Notch changed his mind, said it was too violent, and wanted to make the zombie pigman scary, but not as scary and disturbing as before. Finally, we will talk about the ghast. Notch wanted the Nether to be as unfair as possible, so much so that Notch tweeted about a mob he was implementing, with a very strange phrase, saying that we all would hate the ghast. Not only Notch wanted to be the most disturbing Nether, he wanted to make the Nether much more difficult, that only the best players could survive this hell. But then, what would Minecraft be if that Nether had continued today? The first thing is that possibly the Nether update wouldn't have existed in 20.16, or it would be completely different. 20.16 focus on improving the Nether, making it much less dangerous. I know this confuses you, but really the old Nether was designed not to survive, and nowadays we can do it, thanks to the wood forest that we have in the Nether, thanks to the food that we can find. The infinite bone in the Soul Sand Valley can be used to grow crops quickly. The generation of gold we'll use to exchange with the piglins and get more and more resources. You can get free stones in the basalt deltas. Before it was impossible to get stones or tools in the Nether, you can pass Minecraft faster with the endermans of the warped forest. As you can see, the Nether is much easier and more livable. Another thing that possibly would have happened if the Nether continued as Notch wanted, it would be a much more violent Nether, and even similar to RL Craft. Who knows what horrible creatures we could find? Something super curious is that Notch is a fan of Doom Eternal, a video game where you have to fight completely disgusting demons, and with this you get a little idea of what Notch wanted. The Minecraft age rating is over 10 years. With all the blood that Notch wanted to implement in the game, very possibly Minecraft will change its age level, and it will be for people over 17 years old, as it happens in the Doom video game. Possibly Minecraft will have bloodier and more realistic animations, something like this, and very possibly we will find more things to do with obsidian, maybe other types of portals, maybe tools or summons with obsidian. Notch was fascinated with obsidian and his skills, so possibly would have found obsidian or other similar tools. Who knows what other terrifying things the Nether would have if Notch was in the game now, and if he had continued with this original idea. I hope you liked this video very much. On the left you have another video of this amazing series, and on the right you have a video suggested by the YouTube algorithm. See you tomorrow with another amazing video.